Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
Reviews. And today we have something special. We have a top 10 list for you, which we're super excited about. But before we get to that list, we just want to remind you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We do a lot of content. We do convention vlogs. We do skits. We do top 10 lists like you're seeing now. And we are going to do a top 100 games of all time. So make sure to subscribe so you can see that. Okay, so what is our top 10 list today?
Well, okay, so let me give you a little background. When I first came into this hobby...
when was that?
Like 1982. We're talking like the olden times, right? Art in board games was secondary, if present at all, right? Games were very utilitarian. Here's your plain dice, here's your plain cards, here's your plain board, whatever
here's
the
your
case.
Man on a cover.
Right. Yeah, just this like the stoic, like European king figure.
Maybe holding something sometimes.
Yeah. So art was very, very secondary. When you saw some good art, it was like, oh, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
But then slowly it's become more and more integral to the games.
Yeah, it's almost like a selling point sometimes when you're talking about an upcoming game.
There's so many games that come out. If a game just has like flat art at this point, it's not going to get a second look a lot of times, even if the gameplay is fantastic.
Yeah.
So to succeed, you need to have a great game and great art to kind of visually sell it as well. All right, so one of the artists that we really, really love is Beth Sobel. Beth Sobel's art in games just pops off the pages, pops off of the box art, pops off the card art, whatever the case is. And so we decided to make a top 10 list of our 10 favorite art of Beth Sobel's.
We do have 2 honorable mentions. So these are games that are coming out this year, but when you look at them, they look fantastic.
So we haven't seen like the physical game, which is why they're honorable mentions.
Yes.
But from what we can tell online, they're going to be great.
Yes, and those are Undergrove and Nocturne.
So check those out. Look at the pictures, so that way you can get stoked as well as they come out, or maybe if they're already out by the time you're watching this. But the point is, we haven't seen them yet at this point of recording, and we want to get our hands on them so we can experience them for ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick this thing off. Ladies first.
Thank you. Our number 10 is Fika, and so this is a game where you are a coffee or a shop owner trying to attract people to your...
Trying to attack people? Don't even bother coming in here, or else I'll fight you.
You can't have any of my coffee. It's a game based on a Swedish tradition of trying to just taking a break during the day and having a sweet treat and a hot beverage and just taking time to interact with each other. So anyway, you're manipulating these cards to try and get more people to come to your shop. The card art is really fun. The cover is absolutely adorable. And then all the little coffee and pastry. So our number 10 is Fika.
Our number 9, there was a game called Bonanza, very, very popular. I love the game itself. It's a really clever hand management bidding game almost.
Yeah.
I despise the artwork. I know some people might like it, but I think it's weird and I don't like it. They redid the game.
Yeah. You hated like cartoons like that.
I don't know why. I just don't like that visual. I don't know what. I'm a weird person. But I must not be the only one because they made a newer edition, which is... Instead of having those beans, these weird, I don't know, what's that called when some things are made to look like a human?
Anamorphic?
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
Anthropomorphic beans. Instead, now we're dealing with flowers, and it's Beth Sobel are on these flowers. Looks absolutely incredible. I actually want to look at the cards now. I'm trying to avoid looking at them. The gameplay is basically identical, and now it just looks so much better. If you've never played either one, definitely go to the Dahlias, which is the flower edition.
Our number 8 is Calico, and you are building this. In Calico, you're building this quilt, and you're trying to attract cats to it to lay it down. But this one is definitely more on the cover or the box art than on the art in the game, just because it's mainly just the tiles of the different shapes and everything. But all the cats are there, and all the cats you're trying to draw are very cute as you're trying as you're trying to attract them to what you're creating, because you are creating the most comfy and warm and cuddly spot ever.
This is like a winter game. Yes. All right, so our number 7 game, this is called Verdant, and this is all about houseplants and succulents. This game is just so kind of cozy to look at. It's just, everything's just, it's the brushstrokes, everything's just super, super cute. Everything just looks like you could just lay it out and have it be like, this is what I would want as my little display of houseplants or whatever. The box art is the same way. I don't know if Calico, there's a quilt on this chair. It might even be like a nod to Calico for all we know. But I like how this chair surrounded by these
it's like our eldest daughter's paradise is that spot right there.
You can sit there with the book
she told me
good to go.
That when she grows up, she was telling me this morning about like the type of future house she's going to have. And she's like, and I'm going to have plants everywhere.
Well, she can use Verdant as her guide.
Yeah, as her inspiration. Okay, so our number 6 is kites. So if you're familiar with me and our channel at all, this should not surprise you that this is on our list. However, the only reason why we're actually putting it on this list is because when I play the game, I don't actually look at the artwork. I just look at the colors and I do that. But we were playing with our 10-year-old the other day and she was looking at the artwork. So she would see the purple and orange kite and she knew what that meant. So she was actually not looking at the symbols. It was the artwork that actually helped her play the game. So that was really cool to see.
Yeah, it's a real-time game. So like when I'm playing it, I think we exclusively are looking at the symbols. So then after the game, we flip to the cards. We're like, this looks amazing. This is so great. Yeah. But we don't appreciate it in the midst of the game. Whereas our daughter is like...
That's how she was playing.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Very nice the way that it was kind of subtly done there. All right, so our number 5, this is 100% about the box art itself. And this is
my gosh.
Maury. I'm going to put this up on the screen and we're just going to look at it for a moment all together. Okay? Wow, I think this is probably one of the most evocative box art covers of all time. This is just, it looks so good. It in and of itself is like its own piece of art, right?
Yeah. You can get like a print of that.
I would have a print of this and have it like on my wall. That's how good this box art is. And the cards, same kind of style, same kind of thing going on. So Maury visually just pops off the page in one of the most unique, creative, and colorful, kind of dark way possible. A++++.
Yes. Our number 4 is Wonderland, not to be confused with Wonderland's War, which is another great game, but it's not a Beth Sobel game. This is Wonderland, and you are, as a queen, like, looms over Wonderland. You're trying to manipulate cards in the game, and the card are, oh my gosh, like all these different characters. There's some I want to meet and some I want to run from. So it just did a really good job of evoking that while you looked at all of that.
All right, so this is not going to be a game that surprises anybody that's on this list. Our number 3 is Cascadia. This box art is, you see everywhere because this game is everywhere because it's such a great game. I think part of what makes it great, though, is the visual aspect of it. The box art itself is great. Then all these different tokens and tiles, they all kind of have that same artwork and the same that pop of the wildlife. I mean, one of my favorite things to look at is... I'll never forget when I was traveling to Colorado when I was a kid, and there's a certain part of, when you get to Nebraska, the edge of Nebraska, and you see kind of the mountains kind of looming in the background. I'll never forget that look. Ever since that day, I've loved mountainscapes and seeing mountains, and oh my gosh, I'll never forget that. And every time I play a game like Cascadia, and I see that art of the background of the mountains, the wildlife up close in the foreground. Oh, I love it. I'm a sucker for that stuff. And honestly, Beth Sobel has a lot of games that she's done art for that have a similar mountains theme. I had to really I chose this one because the game itself is popular. Yeah. But really, she's got several games where she just makes these mountains look amazing in the background. And sign me up.
Speaking of just picturesque backgrounds, our number 2 is Sunset Over Water.
What's the card art about in Sunset Over Water?
The card art is about like dirt piles.
Dirt piles, that makes sense.
And cobwebs.
Oh, that makes sense with Sunset Over Water.
Yes, that's exactly what the game is about.
Are you sure it's not Sunsets Over Water?
It might be Sunsets Over Water. It might be Sunsets Over Water and just other picturesque things. You're trying to go out and get the best, picture, but you want to go at different times of day, and you're kind of bidding for that, and you're trying to get different patterns in different directions. But all of the game is the cards and the card arts and all of this great scenery that you're jumping around to as your player pieces trying to collect them. So it's just, I mean, that is the game, is literally just trying to get the best picture. That's what
so,
these are.
Yeah, so it's all good art.
Yes, yes.
All right, so our number one, this is our number one favorite Beth Sobel art of all time. This is Wicked and Wise.
Yeah.
This is, well, you have these big dragons, and at the same time you have these small little mice. And so you have these two kind of opposing styles, as you would think, but they come together so well. And the mice are, in the game, the mice are feeding information to the dragons so they can do their spells, do whatever it is that they do.
It's a trick-taking game.
It's a trick-taking game, and I just love the dichotomy of these big, scary-looking monsters. They're not really scary, but these big, giant dinosaurs, dragons, and these little tiny, cute little mice.
Yeah.
And then you have all the card art as well. It just pops off. The card art is just visually just so stunning. It's one of those ones where every time we lay it out, it's like, I'm going to take pictures of this. This is the card art in this is kind of sums up a lot of the things that Beth Sobel can do. And you think from the big nature backgrounds to the fantasy animals to the real animals to the people. It kind of pulls it all together, which is why it makes it our number one choice.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below, are there any other board game artists you want us to cover? Any other top 10 lists? Are there any games of Beth Sobel that you're like, I bought this kind of because of the art, not necessarily because of the game? Let us know in the comments below.
Yes, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
You guys, thanks for watching our shenanigans. As always, we appreciate it. Over here, if you follow this link, you're going to find a playlist we've handcrafted just for you because you watched this video.
And if you check over here, this is a video that YouTube thinks you might like. So you can check that out if you want as well.
All right, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.